What's going on, everybody? Brady here, and I'm going to be coming to you today just with another hopefully a quick video, just breaking down my reverb pedal. And so there's a ton of different pedals out on the market. Everybody has their own opinions with stuff, whether they want the Bigsky or they want the RV5 or 6, or they want the Night Sky, or they want, like, I don't know, what's the other one that's Specular Tempest, or whatever it is. There's always different opinions on what everybody uses, and but I'm just going to kind of discuss what I use, which is the Bigsky, and just kind of work through some of my presets and just show you the ones that I use all the time. And so just to kind of give you a little bit of reference, just going straight into it, I'm on my Gretsch Electromatic today, and I'm going to start out on the neck pickup and just kind of show you some different things of how I would use reverb, and then we'll get all into it. So here would be just my guitar, and if you haven't seen my other videos, I'll put links up so you can go check those out. But I have breakdowns of my overdrives and my HX Stomp so far, and so my HX Stomp has a little bit of reverb on it, and you'll be able to tell that when I do this. So I have a little bit of reverb built into my amp already, but I just think it doesn't really necessarily act like a reverb as much as it acts like just it spaces out my amps for me and makes me kind of sound like I'm running stereo, even though I'm not. But anyways, I have the Bigsky, and I pretty much use the same settings all the time unless I'm using preset that I've bought, such as some of David Hislop's presets. I have some of them, and I use them from time to time, but it's very song specific, obviously. But these are just kind of what I've come up with, what I've found online from different people, and how I've tweaked them to suit my liking and the way I run things. And so here would be just my guitar clean on the neck pickup. So that's my guitar with just some overdrive, some compression, and then my amps. So nothing crazy, but when I start adding in some effects, such as my Bigsky, you can hear a massive reverb change. And so kind of the settings that I use every week at church are, I have 3 cloud settings that vary from the amount of decay. So my first one is my smallest, my middle button is my medium, my big button is the biggest reverb as far as cloud is concerned. And then I have a plate, a hall, and a spring. And then I even have a cool, very long decay, I just call it long, that I use for some like swells and kind of this stuff. Then I have a heavy reverb, and I'll show you all of those and demonstrate those. So this is just my first stage cloud. So here would be without it, with it. So it lasts a lot longer, so I can use that for inversions and stuff. That sort of thing. So it goes really well, and I explained this kind of on my overdrive portion, but the way I like to layer things is the more overdrive I use, the less reverb I'll use. And so if I'm really like stacking on some drive like this, I'm not going to use as much reverb. So that's my lowest cloud setting. This would be my highest with that. So it just really drags out, makes it super muddy, and I don't like that. And so I tend to stick with a softer reverb. And that's pretty much how I use that. I'll walk through some of the settings. So it would be the middle setting, and this is kind of my go-to. This is what I use all the time, and I can use it for swells. pick through it. So that sort of thing. I think it just is a nice kind of general setting, and then I have a bigger cloud that I can use for even more swells and things like that. Do for stuff like that. And so moving on from that, I go into a hall reverb. And so my hall is kind of things are for certain songs, like any Phil Wickham tunes, kind of ones that require like just basic reverb settings. I'll use the hall setting. So this is what it would sound like. Or let me mute this better. So it just kind of sounds like a big room, like it's sitting in a tunnel kind of thing. So I can play it with songs. Totally lost my way. So for stuff like that, or even just playing like pretty generic reverb tone. I said tone. Here would be my plate. So it kind of has like a delay, and it kind of makes that noise. So I use that sometimes on like little, like if I have to do any little real picky thing. So that's what I would use that for. And I have a spring that I don't use that often. I use it for a couple songs, and it literally just sounds like a natural amp preset. That sort of thing. So I use that for like No Other, the beginning of No Other. We play that song a lot. So that's what I would use the spring for. And then I have my long setting. So I'll throw on like what I would use that for is kind of a very like Nigel Hendroff kind of like swelly thing. So it would go like this. I can also use it for things like just general swells. So very ambient pad, but I generally use it in that sort of style. And then the other one that I use is called Heavy. So it's something that I can still kind of play like still pick notes on, but it just lasts a lot longer. So like I would use that on something like Surrounded when it gets into the whole that real fast picky stuff. Or you can use it for like swells and stuff as well. That's how I would use that, but I do use it for more like I use it for a couple Hillsong tunes where I'm just playing. For very drawn out kind of ambient textures. So that's pretty much my reverb tones. And so like how I would kind of judge that is just I would listen for the song for one, or if I have a resource online, like if I find somebody that has a tutorial, sometimes it'll say like they use a cloud reverb, and so I would use, or if they say like I use 50% cloud, or I use like a 75% cloud, or a 35% cloud, or whatever it is, I'll kind of judge that off of like, okay, if it's a low cloud, they're probably not using that much, they're just using enough to kind of get that sound off. So I'd crank it up for I'd have a low reverb for like an intro to line and lamp. That sort of thing. Can't really play today, but that's kind of how I would judge like what I'm using for my reverb tones. And I really just kind of like things that are simple and that aren't going to get too muddy, and so my middle cloud reverb is kind of like my go-to, especially for stuff like swells and playing flow and transitional things. Basic stuff. Anyways, and like what I would kind of also do is like I'm trying to start learning how to play slide a little bit, and I'm not very good at it, so I'm just forewarning you, like this is probably not going to be the best thing you've ever heard. But like I would use like my heavy reverb, so the one that's like very, it drags out very long, and so I would use that for more kind of like my reverb with my slide tone. That sort of thing. Again, not the best in the world, but it gets the job done. And so if you have any questions, leave comments or private message me, whatever is best for you. I'll try to answer questions as good as I can. But that's pretty much it. I just basic settings that I use all the time and kind of shape songs with. And so thanks for watching. Thanks for following and subscribing. I see a few of you have done that on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate it. I'm just trying to help y'all out and kind of share the things that I've learned along the road of getting tone and discovering what my sound is. And so again, hope you're having a great week, and I'll catch you soon with another video. I think my next one's going to be my timeline, potentially my delays, we'll see, and then I still have my pod one to do. So stay tuned for those. Be on the lookout. We'll see you later.